There's no I in team. We know we're a great team. Now the I's got to show up. We need individual great performances. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tiltingground Untitled Notre Dame USC football podcast. I'm Michael Mito, and I'm here with Greg Flamong. Hi, Greg.
Buenas noches, Miguel.
Yes, the reason that we are doing this so late in the week is I was on a vacation to Mexico. It took our usual podcasting time off the table, and came back yesterday a little under the weather. So now we're going at it today. It's Thursday night, so this will probably be up Friday morning.
Yeah.
A lot happened while I was in Mexico. A lot happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole sports world almost got turned upside down. So I didn't actually get a chance to watch the Notre Dame game. I kind of saw the scores and was looking at my phone and updating it. So I have a lot of questions for you, Greg. Hi. I should have called. I should have used international calling just to make sure you were alive.
You should have.
How are you? Is it still hurt? Are you okay to talk about it?
I'll tell you how I experienced the game. My wife took our 1-year-old daughter to my parents at halftime.
Oh no!
Because she thought that it would be better served if I watched the game by myself, and that proved to be correct. I mean, it's extremely frustrating and unfortunate. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just one of those games. Like you wish that it could. You wish like 5 different things could go a different way, and they don't.
Right.
You know, I had a friend of mine who is he doesn't really have a college football team, and he's like, and this is my neighbor, and he was like, well, maybe I'll watch Notre Dame since I know you like them. And I was like, it's nothing but sadness and despair. That's all it is for my 25 years. It's so terrible. And,
I mean, that is really rough, man. I do feel bad for you. They were right there. And I mean, it's, broken record podcast, but I guess at least it's the things that we knew they were bad at that kind of
it's
got them on the spot.
It's totally like we are who we thought they were, and it's a bummer too because like the offense they were so good, and they had 533 yards of total offense, and like they didn't even get the ball in the first quarter because Stanford, they got the ball and they drove down. They converted like 4 third downs on the first drive, and I was saying it the week before, like you get these 3rd and 4s, you get in these 3rd and 3s, like you gotta get off the field. Never got off the field. So Stanford goes all the way down and scores, and Notre Dame returns the kickoff for a touchdown.
CJ Sanders, thanks for showing up.
Love him. And so they get the ball again, and they do the same thing on the second drive as they did on the first drive. They just drive right down the field, take about 5-6 minutes, score a touchdown. The biggest thing is that like I felt like Notre Dame was always chasing the game. They never had control, and the only time that Notre Dame had an opportunity to seize control of the game was after they hit Will Fuller on the 73-yarder. And, I mean, by the way, like, these teams have to understand, like, it's not good enough to play your corner 10 yards off. He's going to run by it. Like,
I did see that play. I mean,
you can't. And you know what? It's funny too because like you sensed it, like you knew, like hey, at some point, and the announcer said, even Joel Klatt said on the telecast, like he was like, look at how deep this corner's playing. He said it right before, and Will Fuller ran right by him.
Yeah, when I was watching the highlights, I heard Gus Johnson. Did that make you feel good about Notre Dame, or bad, like something was going to happen at the end?
Who, the Law of Gus?
Yeah, the Law of Gus.
I didn't even really think about it. So, but I mean, I love Gus Johnson. So mostly I was just happy that he was doing one of our games and I didn't have to deal with Doug Flutie. So that was kind of my emotion about it. But anyway, so Notre Dame goes up. So there's like 2 minutes left in the first half, and Notre Dame goes up 20-14. And since Stanford received, I'm thinking, okay, look, we just get them a stop here. Like even if you hold them to a field goal, it's like if you just get a stop and then you receive to start the second half, you go down and score. Now you're up 2 scores. And the offense has been good enough to where it's like if you can just match scores with them, like you're going to be fine. Right? So I felt like this is their chance to take control of this game a little bit.
Yeah, I actually was watching on my phone for that part, and the internet service was a little spotty. But when they kicked the field goal and didn't score, I was like, "Oh, that's not to get it to 20." I was like, "Oh no, that's not good." And then Stanford came down and scored to get us to 21. I was like, "Oh man." Yeah. Greg's dying right now. Greg is dying right now.
It was 20-14, and I want to say Stanford went like 4 plays, 74 yards, to take the lead at 21-20. And you know the mistake that Kaiser made at the end of the half. I mean, it's just. I mean, you don't want to be too hard on him because he was amazing in this game, but I mean, he makes an inexcusable mistake. First getting sacked and then fumbling. I mean, I guess it didn't really matter that he fumbled because the clock's going to run out anyway because they didn't have timeouts.
Right.
But, I mean, it's just inexcusable to let that happen. But, I mean, it's fitting to me that the defense in the biggest drive of the season for the defense, the most important drive, a playoff berth is essentially on the line as far as they're concerned, and they give up, they blow a coverage.
Yeah.
I mean, just story of the season. They blow a coverage. Just
Oops.
Joe Schmidt doesn't know what he's doing. Matthias Farley doesn't know what he's doing. We're spying on the quarterback with
I know.
leading sacker.
That killed me too. I was like, oh, of course.
It's just unbelievable.
That's happening.
We're spying with 30 seconds left. We have a spy on a non-running quarterback. It's not like it's Robert Griffin.
You hope that Kevin Hogan runs.
Yeah, it's not like Vince Young's back there.
Yeah, that keeps the clock moving too. Like, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, make them use timeouts. No worries. Oh yeah, we're spying with our leading sacker, Michael.
Yeah, of course.
It's not even like it's one of the reserves. No, it's our leading sacker, and he's not rushing the passer when you would love a sack.
Yeah, I mean, we've been making that joke all season. Like, why are these guys in coverage?
Yeah. So, I mean, and like I said, you got Joe Schmidt, you got Matthias Farley, they blow a coverage. What is in common about those 2 players, Michael?
That they what is in common?
Yeah, what do they both have in common?
They blow a lot of plays.
They both have a C on the jersey, Michael.
Oh, I missed that.
We've got 2 captains blowing a coverage in the biggest possession of the season.
Not good.
What else is there to say?
I actually posted a pretty good article on the Facebook page about the defense, and I think one of the things, and I maybe quoted this wrong, is they only had 3 red zone field goals all season long, and the rest were, I assume, touchdowns. I guess stoppages too every now and then, but that's crazy. Only 3 field goals all season long in the red zone. Yikes!
I got another fun stat for you, Michael. And I actually put this in one of my the article that went up on I guess it was Wednesday. They gave up 26 drives of 70 yards or more for touchdowns.
Oh my God!
In 2012, they gave up 1.
Oh man, that's really bad.
1. Incredible. And all Stanford had 5 touchdown drives, all over 70 yards. It's like, dude, it's not like they're getting short fields. It's not like the offense is hanging them out to dry. The offense is scoring, and it's like, granted, like the offense was bad again in the red zone. I mean, they need to figure out, what their philosophy is down there, because Notre Dame's averaging like 10 yards a play.
Except in the red zone.
They ran for 300 yards. So obviously, you can move the ball. Like, you're just calling the wrong plays.
Right.
That's basically what it is. Like, you're not calling the plays that are going to get you touchdowns down there. Because you clearly have the weapons. So it's like, just call. I mean, you need a better plan. So there's that. But it's like, you know what? You score 36 points in a game, you should win.
You should probably win when you're leading with 38 seconds left.
It was 30. Wasn't even 38.
Oh,
I'm not even gonna give them that extra 8. They don't need it. They don't need it, Michael.
What happened on the 2-point conversion? I haven't been able to hammer that down in my reading.
What do you mean?
Well, so the Notre Dame scores, right?
I know what you're talking about, but what do you mean by what happened?
Like, what was the play?
Literally,
what play did they run? Like, I don't.
They ran like some sort of pass. They threw the ball to Fuller, who was held. That's another thing, Michael. I mean, Notre Dame lost this game, on their own, by their own merit. I mean, they made enough mistakes to where it's like you can lay the blame on their feet, shoulders, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
The officiating was an abomination. It was an atrocity.
That's what you get for talking about referees all year long. They hurt you.
It was an atrocity. No, I mean, it's unbelievable. The first drive of the game was Stanford's got a 3rd and 5, and they throw the ball 4 yards, and the guy catches it. He's a yard short, and the guy runs up and marks it like clearly a first down. And I was telling my wife who was there, I was like, "Oh, that'll be reviewed at least." Never reviewed it. Didn't even look at it.
Not important. Converting third down.
Even the announcers were like, "I don't know about that spot."
You don't hear that a lot.
No review. So, so that was an atrocity. But the 2-point play, they just didn't. Where he threw the ball, like, it wasn't going to be caught. I mean, right out of his hand, you're like, oh God. And then they went for it, like, they went for 2, like, way too soon. There was like 7 minutes left in the third quarter. It's like, oh God, like, now we're chasing points for the rest of the second half.
Yeah, I couldn't quite figure out the score. I was like, wait, I was trying to do the numbers in my head. I was like, wait, what? Then they scored.
It ended up.
They got here.
It ended up not hurting them because, like, Stanford didn't score again after that, basically, or they didn't score. Like, so when Stanford was up 6 and they had the ball, it would have been a big deal if they went down and kicked a field goal, and then they would have been up 9. And then it's like, okay, if you hadn't chased points, a quarter and a half ago, you'd only be down 8 and you're still 1 score away. I mean, they would have had to go for 2 eventually. They just didn't have to do it then. But it didn't end up hurting them. So, I mean, but yeah, the 2-point play was just kind of, it wasn't even close to being converted.
Got it. So I assume Jalen Smith was just shadowing McCaffrey all day long.
I don't know that they were shadowing him. I mean, they definitely bottled him up pretty good.
This is his first under 100-yard game in like a while, right?
Yeah, and he had like 27 carries. So, I mean, Jalen Smith, he was a monster in this game. I mean, he had like 15 tackles. I mean, he's just everywhere. I mean, he played great.
Well, the quote at the beginning here was from Brian Kelly before the game to his players about how they need some eye performances. I figured Jalen Smith had one.
Well,
a bunch of people had one, actually.
It's funny because my article, I haven't seen that. You're talking about the Showtime series, right?
I am.
Yeah, I haven't seen that episode yet, but the week before, I wrote an article basically saying like the stars need to show up for this game. And for the most part, they did. I mean, Fuller, he had 6 catches for 133 and a touchdown. Kaiser played great. The offensive line played great. Josh Adams was great.
Yeah, he's so good, man.
Like, it's crazy. Like, but you know what? Like, to his, I mean, full credit to him, because I mean, it's one thing to get through the hole. It's another thing to be able to run away from people. But like his 62-yarder, like he's untouched.
Well, he made a guy miss. He had a little.
He did.
He turned like the safety around, and the other guy couldn't.
No, like I said, it's a great run, but it's a play between the tackles in which no one touches him.
Right.
So I mean, the offensive line, I mean, they just did phenomenal. And then he's the kind of guy that can exploit it. I mean, like I said, he gets through the line, and if you give him a crease, man, that's it. I mean, he's got a 98-yarder and a 62-yarder this year, and a 70-yarder. So. Yeah, definitely not on him. I thought Sheldon Day did okay. I mean, it's kind of hard because, they're kind of keen on him, and when they're not, it's like he's dropping into coverage at times too.
Yeah, I mean, he does the best he can.
So Jalen, I thought he played great. The safeties were good in run support. But, I mean, the secondary, just unacceptable.
How did the backup for Kamari Russell do? I mean, that doesn't really come through the box score.
Well, on the touchdown drive by Stanford that was right before halftime, he missed the tackle. They threw one of those look passes to the receiver, and he comes up and he hits him, and it's like a 3-yard loss. And he just shakes him off and just runs in for a touchdown. Like
I think that was on the show. I think that was on the Showtime show. Actually, now I remember that.
I mean, that's really bad. He had another pass interference penalty that was like another awful call, like just terrible. And again, the announcer is saying no. If anything, it's offensive. Joel Klatt saying, I mean, if anything, the receiver's pushing off of him. And they call him for a big pass interference penalty. But other than that, I thought he was pretty good.
All right.
They didn't lose this game because of him.
No, there are other people who have their fingerprints all over the loss.
Well, Cole Luke was just, I mean, he did not have a good game by any means. He just got toasted over and over again. So, yeah.
Not good. So what happens next for old Notre Dame? They're gonna go to a big time bowl game, right?
Yeah, so they came in at number 8 in the latest rankings, and I think if they stay in the top 10, they're like guaranteed one of those New Year's Six bowls. So I think they're either going to get the Peach Bowl, which is on New Year's Day, or the Fiesta Bowl. People think they're either going to play Ohio State or Iowa.
The second tier Big Ten school.
Yeah, so basically, if Michigan State wins, then obviously they're going to go to the playoff, and then the Rose Bowl can take the next highest ranked team, which I imagine is probably going to be Ohio State since they're 6.
Right.
I imagine Iowa would drop below them.
You assume.
Yeah. Considering they haven't beaten anyone this year. I mean, neither is Ohio State, but I guess Michigan. Plus, the committee loves Ohio State, obviously. So then the Rose Bowl will probably take Ohio State, which leaves Iowa. I would love Notre Dame to play Iowa.
That'd be a nice one. I think they'd do all right.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Rose Bowl, the team I root for, the USC Trojans, have a chance to get in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl.
They do. And
though I was in Mexico, I actually found the game on TV in English. So.
Oh wow!
I know. It's ABC. It was broadcast. ABC. Who knew? Who knew they had that in Puerto Vallarta? Also had Keeping Up with the Kardashians on in English. So Mexico, right there with us. Anyways, so I got to watch the game. I was very excited. It was kind of a nail biter in the early going, and I was a little upset that things were so close. And it looked like it was just like you said, it was going to be an offensive, firepower game. And then the SC defense kind of stepped up and shut down UCLA, and boom, they blew them out. It was great.
They did. The Adoree Jackson punt return was big.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. One of the big game, if not the biggest. It's that one, and then it's the strip sack return for a touchdown.
Oh, that was great too.
USC. Yeah, that kind of, that really put UCLA behind things, and then it's like that kind of took away their running game, which is kind of the best part of their team because it sets up the pass.
Right.
When UCLA is just dropping back constantly, that's not really good for Rosen. So
he's pretty good though, man. I couldn't believe how good he was.
So yeah. No, you know what? He throws such a good ball. It just looks like right out of his hand. I feel like they're all spirals. They all look like his technique is good.
Yeah.
His throwing motion is pretty. I like him a lot. I didn't think I would, but he looks good.
He threw one to Duarte. Stuart Cravens has had him covered, and I don't even know how he caught it. There was actually threw a couple, but there was one in particular, like up the sideline, like a little corner.
I know exactly which one you're talking
about. Yeah.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
It was crazy. I was like, man, Stuart Cravens is right there with him. What's he supposed to do? And it was just perfect. Yeah. And then Duarte got Cravens a couple times, and who else is going to cover him? I guess because he's really a tight end, but he's kind of like a wide receiver.
Yeah, they kind of put him in the slot there.
So I guess Stuart Cravens has to cover him. Elijah Tucker had another okay game in replace of Cameron Smith, Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year. Cameron Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I did get to see Ahmad Marshall's holding penalty. That was great. But he had the 2 interceptions, which was better.
He had 2 picks, man. It was his greatest day.
He was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week.
His big day.
Oh, we were very happy for him. His Twitter feed's awful, by the way. I follow some of the players for our respective teams just to see if anything interesting pops off during the week. And Ahmad Marshall and Stuart Cravens have the worst Twitter feeds. This is so boring, and it's all inside jokes that I don't get and shout-outs to people. It's terrible. Terrible.
It's so weird.
It really is. I don't understand it. Maybe we're too old.
It's just weird that they interact with each other on another medium. It's like you can just text.
You can do it. You just go. I'm sure they live near each other.
Go over to his house.
I can't imagine. It's Ubers are free at SC. Just go pop in an Uber and head over to his place.
Yeah.
It's a fun USC fact that the people probably don't know. Because all the USC students get free Ubers. I think it's only at night. But hey, good on campus security. What else happened?
Does school pay for it?
Yeah, school pays for it.
Oh, look at that.
I know. Safety first.
Look at you guys.
What else happened in the game? Our guy Justin Davis had another big game. What do you have? 150, 140 yards, something like that.
He did.
Good to see him get going.
Yeah. Are we?
What?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Trey Madden was there. I feel like he's a steady hand in the backfield. He kind of smooths things out when it's just Jones and Davis. It gets a little rocky sometimes.
He got to do the senior thing, get that last go around against UCLA.
They beat him. The seniors. Seniors beat UCLA, which is nice for those guys. But they kind of don't have to go out like a bunch of schmucks. They had a stat during the game. I think only one time. UCLA had the long streak back in the 90s when they won 7 in a row. That was the
91 and 98, right?
Yeah, and I would have thought there was another one in the 50s or 60s or something. Just or back in the Gary Beeman days, something like that. But no, that was it. So UCLA was on one, and the Trojans stopped them. So good on the Trojans. So now it's Stanford this weekend. Pac-12 title on the line. I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
I mean, even anything, it's the same thing. They already played. Like, don't let them vert on third down. Limit Christian McCaffrey. Make Kevin Hogan uncomfortable. Like, the end. Like, I mean, I'll tell you this much. Like, Stanford's defense is not good. And they can obviously be run on.
They're good enough, though.
No, they're not.
Actually, it's true. You're actually right. Well, what happened last time they played SC? SC didn't score on them all that much.
Yeah, but it's a new day, Michael.
Things have changed. They have USC as a head coach now. Kind of buried that one.
Oh man, I am elated.
I don't know.
Way to not even attempt to. I mean, I guess they did. Like, I guess they talked to Chip Kelly, and they talked to who else did they talk to?
I don't know. I was in Mexico for all of this part, and I got an email from you guys on the email chain. I was like, what?
I want to say they talked to Hugh Jackson too, the guy from the Bengals.
Oh, he was their old coach. He's been their coach before.
Yeah, so they asked him what was going on, but then it was like, I can't. I'm going to be in the playoffs or whatever. So,
why couldn't they wait till bowl season was over? Like, what happens when SC loses to Stanford on Saturday? And then, like, okay, now they have a coach, great, but they could have found a better one, maybe.
I don't know.
Is having a chance to play in the Rose Bowl, like, is that worth hiring someone? It's not even like you made the Rose Bowl. Like, I get it. If USC somehow made it with a Pac-12 champions and gets to play in the Rose Bowl, like, that's kind of crazy after everything that's happened. Like, sure, whatever. Sign the guy for, I don't even know about 5 years. Like, 3? 3 sounds good to me. But
okay, Michael. Here's what Stanford has done.
Okay, thank you.
Defensively in their last couple of games here. So against Oregon, they gave up 436 yards on 48 plays. So basically 9 yards a play.
It's not good.
No, Michael. 48 plays, that's unbelievable. Then they gave up 38 points. Against Cal, who isn't that great, they gave up 397 passing yards. Now, granted, Jared Goff is good.
Yes.
But they gave up 397 passing yards, 495 yards of total offense, 6.3 yards a play. Against Notre Dame, they gave up 533 total yards on 60 plays, 9 yards a play, 36 points. Doo-doo.
Yeah. No, you're right.
USC averaged 7 yards a play against them the first time.
Yeah, so I was about to say you beat me to it. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm telling you, Stanford's defense is not good. USC can get some turnovers. I mean, look, Stanford played perfect on offense last week, so they're kind of due to, not do as well.
That's kind of what I was hoping for, is they had, like, the emotional letdown after having to squeak by Notre Dame.
They're due, Michael.
They're due. I mean, SC only ran the ball, like, 28 times last time they played Stanford. So, now they run the ball, like, 50 times a game. So, who knows? Anything's possible.
That's why people love Clay Helton.
Because he runs the ball.
They do. It's like, oh, he runs the ball, so it's like, all right, let's sign him to a 5-year guaranteed contract.
I mean, it is true that they have played better since they ran the ball a little more. However,
don't they have matching 4-2 records?
There's a little Helton and Sarkisian?
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Because what, Sarkisian lost to Stanford and Washington. And then Helton lost to Oregon and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. And one guy got fired.
Yeah, like
one guy had something else going on too, but
it's like, what did he do? It's like, I mean, I guess beating UCLA, is good. Maybe you can answer me this. Like, how in the world is, or how in the world does Pat Hayden still have the authority to hire someone?
I have no idea. I have
It's
zero
incredible.
idea.
It's unbelievable.
He's one of those guys who just has some kind of cachet and at his job, and I don't know why that is. And he's never gonna leave, right? If he's not gone now,
Apparently not. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, like given what he's done and what has happened, and he's still AD. Like, I don't even know what could happen to get fired at this point.
yeah.
I mean,
if
they didn't even go through like a coaching search.
No, they didn't, which is crazy. Also, I want to know, Colin Cowherd said on his little radio show that he knew who the next USC coach was going to be, and that it was a big name. I want to know what his source was and why he gets to say things like that if it's not even close to being true.
I want to know who it was.
Yeah, and Keyshawn said he knew too. And clearly no one knew.
Keyshawn Johnson said he knew who the coach was going to be.
Yep.
And it was a big name.
Yep.
I saw a quote that Keyshawn said that he liked it.
I mean, I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive, I guess, but
I guess that's true. He can know who the coach is, and he can like Clay Helton.
I think it's, whatever. People
That's
just
a good
say
point,
things.
Michael.
That's what I'm here for.
Point.
It's a great analysis. But yeah, it makes me so mad that he got to be the coach. The season's not even over. I mean, the players were really excited. Did you see the video?
I didn't see the video. But I have seen a video of the Jets players jumping up and down when Rex Ryan was told that he got to stay and coach another year.
How'd that work out?
How did that turn out? Like, the players should not have a say in who the coach is.
Especially college players, because they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're like on the team.
Yeah, like, what do you care?
Let's ask Cody Kessler who he thinks the coach should be.
Yeah, what does he care? He probably doesn't even know the plays anymore. He's working on NFL dropbacks and passing drills for the combine.
Oh man,
I know, it's so dumb. But yeah, the players are really excited. There was a video. He told them at the conference. They all jumped and hugged him and mobbed him and stuff.
Oh,
so I mean, maybe they'll be fired up. Maybe this is what they need to beat Stanford. Who knows? There's another rumor that Ed Orgeron's coming back as the D-line coach, I guess, since Les Miles is probably out at LSU. So that should make SC people happy.
Interesting.
It's funny though because Orgeron was the head coach.
Although that would be weird though. Like I can't imagine, like, he was mad that they passed him up for the head coaching job and he left, and then it's like he's going to come back and be the D-line coach again.
I know, it's so weird. It's maybe the defensive coordinator. Yeah, what are they going to do about defensive coordinator?
I know. Les Miles. What am I saying? Les Miles is staying.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're in Mexico.
I was in Mexico. I get scattered information.
Yeah. What am I saying? Yeah, Les Miles is that. I mean, that's bizarre. Like, he was basically like they had. It seems like they had decided to fire him, and then the fans got really mad, and so then they didn't. They're like, "Hey, just kidding." Yeah.
Maybe that was maybe Orgeron's the scapegoat for Miles. Maybe he has to cut his staff and get new people in.
Well, what else hasn't happened? So let's see. Mark Richt is not the Georgia coach anymore.
I saw that. Like hours later, he became.
He's going to be the Miami coach.
Yeah, that's who it was, Miami. I wouldn't mind him as the SC coach.
I didn't know he went there.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't have minded had they waited. I've waited to sign Clay Helton. They could have got Mark Richt.
There you go.
That's a mighty fine hire.
They could have interviewed him.
At the very least, send him an email. He's like, "Hey, interested? No? Okay. Sorry to bother you." that didn't happen. Because Clay Helton got re-signed. Like, do you think they told him in person? Like, what? Or do you think it was just like an email, like, hey, or maybe a text, like they got Sark, like, hey, Big Helton, you can stick around. We're boring.
Maybe he thought it was a prank. Maybe he thought it was a prank.
He texted back, who is this?
Like, hey, we're finalizing a 5-year deal for your contract. Ha ha ha.
He texted back, did Trey Madden mess with the contacts in my phone again? Is this really Pat Hayden?
Is that you, Tolbert?
Yeah.
This isn't funny, you know.
I know. All right, let's get back to Stanford. We only got off topic here. Rose Bowl's on the line. It's 4.5 points. That's I checked right before we got on here. Stanford is the favorite. What do you think, Greg?
Give me the points.
Oh, I like it.
It'll be close. It'll be a close game.
I'm gonna take the points. I believe. I believe SC's going to the Rose Bowl after there's a season of turmoil and the ups and downs and me thinking, weeks ago that the season was over the first time they lost to Stanford. Maybe they get revenge. It's hard to beat someone twice.
It is hard to beat someone twice.
That's what they say.
Have to, by the way.
What do you mean?
They shouldn't have to. Well, these conference title games are so stupid.
I agree.
They are so stupid. They are so dumb.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Like why? Why? How helpful is the conference title game to like Iowa?
Zero helpful.
They don't want to play in this game. Why do they want to play in the game? They don't. Like they're 12-0. They could be in right now. They could be in the playoff.
Well, we assume that if there wasn't a conference title game, Iowa would lose one of their non-conference games and play all the other teams in the Big Ten. But I guess it wouldn't be. We couldn't because there's 12 teams, right?
What?
I'm just thinking, if you didn't have conference title games, you still wouldn't be able to play all the teams. So I don't know. Right. Yes, Iowa would not want to play another game.
Yeah, no. It doesn't help them in any way. And Ohio State, who doesn't play in a conference title game and didn't win their side of the conference, they could benefit. They could be in. They could be in the playoff because right. Iowa has to play an extra game that Ohio State doesn't have to play in.
And have be negatively affected by it.
Makes no sense. What? Why? Why does that? These games shouldn't even count.
That is kind of true. I mean, let me look at Oklahoma, the team that was chasing Notre Dame. They get a big bonus for not having to play anymore.
Yeah.
Being called the champs.
I'm so upset, Michael. I was so ready to have this podcast and to make my case for why Notre Dame should be in it over Oklahoma, and then they had to go and lose, and now it's a waste. I
mean, they would have been, right? There's no way. What would they have been? 11-1? An 11-1 Notre Dame team?
Yeah, but Oklahoma's 11-1 too.
Yeah, it's true. I guess Iowa didn't lose.
People like how Oklahoma beat up on terrible Oklahoma State.
All the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah. Terrible Oklahoma State, terrible Baylor, and terrible TCU.
But they probably would have jumped when Iowa or Michigan State lost, I assume.
Well, they would have jumped in the top 4 just because, they would have beaten number 9 on the road. So, you can't keep Iowa ahead of them.
Right.
Iowa hasn't beaten anybody.
It is dumb, by the way, as rankings go. I get it, but it's dumb that Iowa beats Nebraska, who's terrible, and that helps their cause. or who'd they beat the week before? It was they squeaked by Iowa State or something.
It was Iowa State, some garbage. They won by 8.
And now they move up.
Yeah, it's they proved it. They proved it to us. It's oh no, they beat Purdue by 20, and it's that was impressive.
Yeah.
One. Yeah, great job. Great job, boys.
I just don't get it sometimes. It's That's not the game that you should have. If you thought they were that good, they should have been higher ranked before.
Not just that, but it's like just the notion that like at some point you have to say, okay, like yeah, they're undefeated, but like give Notre Dame their schedule, and Notre Dame's undefeated too.
I mean, most likely.
I mean, most of the teams, right? Like,
Right.
come on, you didn't play the 3 toughest teams in your conference.
Oops. It's like, of course that's the year you're good. Go figure.
And like, you know, with all due respect to our friend Justin, like the fact that Ohio State could even be in the playoff is such a joke. It is such a joke. They played 2 ranked teams, and they went 1-1. And the loss is at home to a team's backup quarterback.
I know. I'm right there with you.
Notre Dame played 5 ranked teams this year. 5.
Is
Ohio
Navy
State played 2.
Is Navy still ranked?
They're the lowest ranked.
I wasn't sure after they lost.
Of all the teams they played, they're the lowest ranked.
Hey, I don't think we ever gave a shout out to Keenan Reynolds for breaking the NCAA career rushing touchdown record.
Good on you, Keenan Reynolds.
Way to go. There was a controversy. He was on the Nissan Heisman House fan vote page.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then he wasn't. Everyone at Navy got real up in arms.
He was crushing it, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!"
What? Allegedly,
we don't really want you to do this. No.
Allegedly, what happened was the players you could choose from is based off ESPN expert ballots. So someone had taken him off their ballot, and that's why he was removed from the.
Jesus.
And it could only be a write-in candidate. So if you're listening to this, go write in Keenan Reynolds for a Nissan Heisman House player vote or a fan vote.
Write-in vote.
Sure, why not? You have any other fun Notre Dame news and notes for the week?
Fun Notre Dame news and notes.
Anything going around campus after the loss? People staying, people going.
Actually, I saw some potentially amazing news today.
Oh.
So as we previously discussed, Mark Richt is going to Miami.
Correct.
And people are wondering how he's going to fill out his staff. Well, one, Brian Van Gorder used to coach under Mark Richt at Georgia.
Oh.
So this could be one of those, you know, hey,
friendly
Brian,
removals.
If you feel like you need to go to Miami with Coach Richt, then maybe that's just the best thing for you.
You have my blessing.
And then we don't have to fire you, and it's just like, oh yeah, going to the SEC or going to the ACC, I enjoy it. Although it would be funny though, because Notre Dame would then play against him next year.
Uh-oh. But then all the quarterbacks be ready for the Georgia defensive linemen dropping back into
we don't have to worry about them ever like covering any of our receivers at any point.
No safety. The safeties don't know how to play, so you're fine over the middle.
Oh my God, Michael.
Yeah, he's got to go, right, Van Goren? Like, it just was such a
He's definitely not going to.
It's just such a bad job.
He's gonna be the coach.
Well, it's an NFL team, right?
59 plays of 20 yards or more this year. 59.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
I want to look up what. Let's keep talking. I'm gonna look at how much the 20 team. So yeah, but Brian Kelly, he doesn't fire people.
Well, that's nice of him, I guess.
They just move on. They go to different positions.
But if there ever
I mean, that's his boy. Like, he coached with them at Grand Valley State.
And I didn't know his kid was the backup quarterback either. Van Goren's kid is like out there yelling on the ping pong table while he's playing Deshaun Kaiser and dropping headsets and stuff when they're losing to Stanford.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, man, just calm down. We all know why you're on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's cool. He's whatever. I don't have a huge problem with him.
Him and Bon Jovi said probably spend lots of time in the dining hall together.
Okay, so so this season, Notre Dame was 83rd in the country, giving up 59 plays of 20 yards or more.
Oof.
In 2012, they were tied for second in the country. They gave up 36.
That's bad news.
So, yeah, just
Not
not good. I mean, there's so many stats on this defense that are just awful.
I think there was another one I saw. It was Jalen Smith and Sheldon Day grade out as superstar players. However people do player grading, and then there's like 5 other players on the defense who are subpar. And on the other top 5 ranked teams in the nation, there's only 5 combined players who rank out as subpar. It's like, oh, that's not good.
They just don't know. I mean, it's all season. They just don't. They never figured it out. They never figured out who to cover. They never figured out where to be. I mean, they returned 10 starters. Never figured it out.
I couldn't believe that Romeo Okwara could be the Notre Dame single season sack record guy. Like, I saw that was a thing that could happen. It's like, whoa.
I mean, yeah, he would have to have 2 big games, really big games.
Well, now
he didn't even end up with 10.
But yeah.
Oh, it absolutely is. Well, I mean, I guess he could have 5 sacks in the next game and then he'd get it, but that's not happening.
No. But yeah, there was talk about it. I was like, wait, but on this defense? Is there?
That was kind of a fake thing. Because I saw that too. It's like, hey, he could be the all-time sack leader. It's like, yeah, if he gets 60% of his sacks in the next couple games, then yeah, he could.
All right, fair enough.
So,
anything going on at SC? Yeah. Of note, I don't think so. I think just the Clay Helton news was dominated my news feed, and I'm just worried about Stanford. So I think that's all I got for SC. We didn't really talk about Juju Smith-Schuster trying to fight anyone, so I guess a good week, good low-key week for him.
I feel like something did happen with him.
Oh.
But I kind of, just during the game, I felt like he did something that I was like, oh, we got to talk about this. But now I don't remember it.
He had a good catch. He had a good little catch and run. I mean, he's great.
So this is quality podcasting, right?
Quality at its finest. I mean, hey, I'm coming off the vacation and the DL, so doing the best I can, everybody.
Oh, no, it's all good. I mean, I'm the one. I should remember.
All right, I think we could call it right here.
All right,
so, everyone follow us on iTunes. If you follow us on iTunes while you're there, please leave a review or rate us or both. You can follow Greg on Twitter. Greg, what's your Twitter?
At Greg2126.
I'm Michael Buto on Twitter. We're Tiltingground on Twitter. Or you can also email us if you have questions. We'll read them on the air if it's a good one. Tiltingground@gmail.com. There is a Tiltingground NFL podcast, so when you search Tiltingground, look for them as well. I think that's it. Oh, we have a Facebook page, as I mentioned earlier. Go to the Facebook page if you want any up-to-date Notre Dame and USC news and notes. And beat Stanford, fight on.
Go Irish.